It's almost time. All right, what else do I need here? I don't need that. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. Oh, well, thank you. Hello to you too. Did I do that twice? I'm not sure if I did it twice or not. In the comments. Oh yeah, we should probably turn the alerts off for today, so we don't have a bunch of stuff blaring. Party people. Looks like we got about 20 more minutes for lead up to gather the audience so nobody misses anything. I am told, you know, it'll be worth showing up early, but we will see what happens. Hopefully it won't just be 20 minutes of us watching the clock tick down and talking about why Nicolas Cage is the most amazing actor to ever live. Okay, I don't think I need that anymore. I don't think I need that anymore. Don't need that, don't need that. This I do need, right? Okay, and we're going to turn off the alerts for today. Where's the fun things? It's just picture and a timer. Oh, maybe we can spice up the background. I mean, I'm sure they're going to have their own stuff here, but... Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh. Whoa. Oh, things are happening. What is that?
Here we go. It's Maury time.
I know that guy.
Let's fix this.
Oh man, that is so beautiful. I really like that. And then hit him with the shade. Yo. Sheesh. Hit him with the shades.
You know, why didn't you hit her? She was right there. Why didn't you hit her? Don't you walk away from me. You answer me right now, sir.
Hit him with the shades. Make the slider fail.
Are you all done? Thank you.
Oh no, it still says layers of fear. Well, poop, thank you for letting me know. I'm fixing that right now.
Ist das perfectly plain. Spielen wie Könige, noch nicht greedy werden, noch nicht greedy werden. Immer noch nicht, immer noch nicht, immer noch nicht.
I thought to myself, I have to remember tomorrow to change this so it doesn't say layers of fear.
Das hast du, oh mein Gott, das hast du voll.
Paulie Esther, you're so smart.
Escape through hatch, my life depends on it. You know what, Chad? Sure. I'll do that for you. Wait, you're not a tier 3 sub? Alright, then your life is not worth that much then.
I am definitely not watching from work.
Okay, I'm going. Just like that,
Okay,
Chad.
did that fix it? The game Did that fix the game title?
That's good.
Wanted her. Ooh, I just wanted her.
Oh, thank you.
Ma'am. Do you have infantry mode?
Ooh, I'm glad you all caught that for me
I'm
early.
mildly embarrassed.
Girl.
Oh my god.
What's up?
Okay, so we're gonna turn the alerts off. There, we did that.
Where did you go?
Hell, like.
Lord.
I even have the chance to do anything, dude. I think I might be going here. If somebody can take over my chain, that would be great. Pre-dropping. Oh my! I am so sorry, Cosmic. This is like a flashback to what I said earlier, dude.
Some hype for the stream. 7th anniversary is live now. Well, 18 more minutes and they're gonna have a show here for us. So we'll see if hopefully I won't have to move my camera for any of this. Hopefully my camera will be in an okay place. If some of these other elements like the skulls or the sevens in the corner get in the way, get rid of those too. I'm ready, Freddy. So I have pretty well stayed away from the spoilers. I mean, I've seen some stuff, but I didn't like, oh, let me look at this again, or let me get in close. I've seen some stuff, but I decided that I just, you know, I'm not a big trailer watcher before movies either. I just want to go see the movie, and I don't want to see all the movie and all the trailers. You know, I don't need to digest half a dozen trailers and then go into the movie feeling like I've seen it all, you know? So just the way I am. So I decided that I wanted to watch the stream in the ways that the devs have intended, with as little information as possible. So if you see me going, oh my god, it's something, and you're like, we knew that, Paulie, you're stupid, that's why, you know? Because I don't know everything that is out there in the leaks, and I'm happy to have kept it that way. I mean, obviously, the Nick Cage stuff I know, because that got leaked, and then Dead by Daylight decided to put that out to kind of combat the leaker. But then they didn't know that, like, everything got leaked. So then they're like, well... And you can see that they accelerated the timeline of this anniversary stream, because they told us so in a tweet that, I guess at some point here... Die Hard Diva, I guess at some point here in the stream they're going to say, and you can play the PTB right now, but it isn't going to be right now because this was meant to air on Tuesday, but they decided to accelerate the timeline and take as much control back as they could from their of their anniversary stream. It's a long weekend here in Canada too, so they decided to get out in front of it and do damage control as best as they could. So, who is in favor of having an actual live stream next year? Raise your hand, say aye. You want an actual live stream that is live and not pre-recorded? I know, sure, hey, they can do a lot of great things by packaging all of this and polishing it. But if the risk is that people are going to leak all of your stuff before you present this, then, you know, is it worth it? Is it worth it for the polish? That is a beautiful image there. Is it worth it for that level of polish to have the risk that your entire story that you're going to tell in the live stream is taken away from you? I think perhaps it's time to return to live streams that are really live. And I know some people get nervous in those kind of environments that, you know, they want to be able to say, oh, let me do it again. Cut, let me do it again. I can do it better. But who cares? Does anybody ever remember those moments where people stumble on their words? It's all about the message at the end of the day. That's the things that people are going to remember, not whether you tripped over your words during a live stream. Just do it. Do it live. Real live stream, please. Tickety tack. Good to see you. Make the Lakers suffer without attention, or just not give anyone access to the pack. Like, don't make a press pack. Yeah, I'm not too sure now. I'm hearing conflicting reports. I see the press people pointing fingers and blaming the other press, but did the press get the whole anniversary stream? I don't know. I'm hearing other people who are adamant that they're saying that the stream was accessed on the servers. I don't even pretend to know what that means or how you would do such a thing to gain access to behavior servers and find the file that is the live stream. I don't even pretend to know how that works.
The way she just crawled out of the well. It's so... Ah! Jesus Christ! Whoa, Jesus!
Oh my god.
Can we not do that?
There was a person dying over there. Jesus! Oh my god!
I still haven't seen the leaks. I'm very excited. Me too. I think the press being the leak is a distraction. Right, if you're the one who like actually got access to it, it works for you to continue to go with the rhetoric that, oh, it's the press are to blame, so that you can do it again next year, you know? If it's not the press and you blame it on the press and you're able to use your subterfuge and infiltrate again next year the way you did this year, I don't really like the prospect of that happening.
And he was so bald. He was so bald and so close to my face. It really scared me. I'm like, what am I looking at?
Tickety tack. Yeah, you just heard about Salmonation. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, you know. Nobody feels good about it. Nobody feels good about it, but you know, at some point, hey, look, if something happens to me, I hope that I don't react. I hope I don't react in the way that some of these other folks have. Somebody finds something on me, I do something. I hope that I have the level of maturity to own it and apologize and move on, and you know, if it costs me my fog whisper or something that I did to myself, I hope that I have the courage to accept it and not double down on whatever I did or lash out at the company that, you know, gave me this opportunity. Like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, this is going to be 5 years now that I've been Fog Whisperer, coming up in the fall. 5 years I have been Fog Whisperer, and, you know, I don't know, that might be, no, I guess it's not longer than I've stuck with any other job. Not longer than I've stuck with any other job, but, and it isn't even really a job because they don't pay me. Who's the oldest still remaining Fog Whisperer? Well, that would be me and Cauliflower and oh no, I think that's it. I think it's me and Kala. So, you know, pretty soon we're gonna have a Highlander sword fight, just me and her, because there can only be one. There can only be one. Is that how it goes? I mean, I don't want to name names of the others who are no longer with us, but there were 6 English speaking of the first 10 Fog Whisperers, and of the English speakers, there's only 2 of us left, me and Kayla. So I pretty much managed to avoid the leaks. I mean, you can imagine it's pretty difficult for me to exist on Twitter and avoid everything entirely. But, you know, I haven't gone deep diving anything. I just kept scrolling. So, yeah, I don't know about the 4 non-English speakers. I can't even genuinely remember who they are. I would have to go and look. But it was 10 Fog Whisperers initially. 6 English speakers. Hey, I know that guy. Yeah, yeah. Lead her through the mannequins. Oh my god! Do it again. Do it again.
Now I'm here.
Do it again. She knows now. She knows now. She looked back and she's like, wait a minute. That looked like a Dwight. Thank you, Wicca. Yeah, I love that video too. They asked us to submit some clips for this, and that was the one I picked, so. I made the cut, gang. Oh my god. Oh my god. Were the other ones fired? Nah, not all of them. I think only one of them was let go, and the others either left of their own free will, or, you know, they weren't making the content requirement. Like, they just left the game, so they lost their role. One was, one was, you know, Hybrid Panda, which his father became quite ill and he wasn't streaming at all. So you can understand that. His father was quite ill, and he left streaming entirely. I'm not entirely sure why he hasn't come back since then. So, what about King? I can't remember now if King was on... I think he was on the second round of expansion. Yeah, and yeah, I know Hybrid Panda's back, which makes it a little curious to me why he hasn't come back to the fold, because I know, like, it was all about... I mean, I believe it was all about his, him stepping away from streaming. He also had a lot of haters, too. That was another reason why, like, in the face of his father's illness, he was like, who needs it? And he just entirely left streaming. But, yeah. A little surprised he isn't welcome back with open arms. I'm not... You know, I don't get to make these decisions. I'm not privy to these decisions. Who gets asked and why. But he's definitely making content out there now. He's still doing Shrine Watch every week. By all accounts, as far as I know, he's a great guy, so... Yeah, the other 4 were Jen Denise, Ohm Wrecker, Morph, and Hybrid Panda, I believe. People need to focus on their mental health instead of slaving away, try to make everyone happy. Truer words were never spoken. This is gonna be a good stream. Panda was my first streamer. I used to watch Panda Shrine Watch, like, religiously with my son every week. So... Thank you for the pin, Mia. Yeah, so they're gonna say some things here in the stream because, again, this was planned to come out next Tuesday. So they're gonna say some things in the stream that you might go, huh? Like, PTB's today, which it won't be today. And I also believe that the Nicolas Cage element was gonna be like a Project W announcement towards the end of the stream. Somebody told me that. I haven't seen it. I don't know. But it was going to be like, oh, and one more thing. Remember how last year they did Dredge. Oh, one more thing. Project W's coming. It was supposed to be like, oh, and one more thing. Nicolas Cage is coming. And then when that wound up being the first thing that was leaked, then they felt like, okay, we got to address this and get out in front of it. And then they announced Nicolas Cage officially coming in reaction to that, but at that point I don't think they knew that, like, the entire stream was going to be leaked. So Funko Pops are coming. Oh God. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if Matthew gets on here and says, "Great news, gang! Funko changed their mind and Funko Pops are coming." I'll be like, I don't know if I should trust you, Matthew. Why do people have to ruin everything? I don't know. Some people just want to see the world burn, or, you know, they want to be the one to, I know something you don't know, and here's what it is. My heart still breaks. I mean, my hope. Oh my God, what a play. Oh my God. Oh my God, the Nodders. So good.
Oh yeah, they're not able to get that heal.
Sam!
Wait, what?
Heck
Right,
happened? Oh.
I thought I heard something, but maybe I'm just crazy.
Ah! Snowman!
Don't mind if I do.
Lexi's laugh is great, yeah.
What are the odds of that?
Do you believe in love?
Oh, Dylan, what is this leap gonna be? You gonna land that? Oh, what is this? Oh!
Yeah!
It's good!
Let's go!
Snowman Dredge is so awesome. It's a great cosmetic. For sure. Alright, so y'all gonna have to let me know once we get going. I'll try and adjust these volumes here so you'll be able to hear the devs and not hear me so much or whatnot. So yeah, let's settle in, get your popcorn. I got a little bit of coffee here. I haven't entirely kept from being spoiled, but I've mostly kept from being spoiled. So full blast on the volume. It is Tim Hortons, always Tim Hortons. My wife got me medium, and I'm like, do I look like a medium? But it is what it is. What kind of teacher are you? A life lesson teacher. Tim Hortons needs to be a sponsor. I've switched from sugar to sweetener, so this is actually not bad. I don't know, we'll see. I guess they put Splenda in here, but I'm not sure if it's sucralose Splenda or stevia Splenda. Came to watch the anniversary stream with my favorite streamer. Don't make me cry, we're just getting started here. Thank you so much. Oh, look at this. We got a code. Redeemable in-game using the code. How long is that going to be good for? Wow. 400,000 blood points. We're rich, y'all. See, I told you it was going to pay off to be here for the stream early. Bear Force, good to see you too. Thank you, XD Dead. That's a lot of blood points. I can level up Renatu. Oh, wait, what is this? Trapper Charm. Do I have that one already? The Vulpix one? Is that the one from Flippin' Misfits? I'm gonna screenshot it anyway. I have that one. Yeah, okay. I was wondering about that. Huh. It is. I want it. What is all this? Merch sale. Code DBD7th for 10% off until May the 30th. I got that crow pillow. Okay. You know, I love me some Dead by Daylight merch and everything, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. I love the image of the crow heart on the crow pillow. That pillow is the hardest pillow I have ever had in my life. It's like putting your head on a burlap sack full of sand. It is the roughest, scratchiest material I've ever seen. My son keeps handing it to me if I have a nap. He's like, "Here, Dad, do you want your crow pillow to hug while you're having a nap?" And I'm like, okay. It is not a very comfortable pillow. That is my only complaint of anything that I've gotten from the shop. So I would say while it looks good, the functionality isn't great. Here we go. Okay, this is up 100%. It's a pillow to hug, not to sleep on. The comic books.
Hello, good people of the fog. Welcome once again to Dead by Daylight's anniversary.
Lego tie.
7 years later. So having been here from the start, it's kind of special, and I'm extremely proud to be here once more to celebrate this momentous occasion with all of you. We have quite a lot of really thrilling things to, show you for the next year and beyond. We're going to talk about quite a lot of them today. To tell you all about it, I'd like to introduce you to my friend Eric here. But before, I also have quite a big surprise that I'm not gonna spill just yet, but stick around, and we have something that you don't expect.
Always such a tease. Thank you, Matt, for the intro. Hey, my name is Eric Pope. I'm the community director here at Behavior. I've been here a little over a year now, and in that time, I've been really blown away by the passion of the DBD player community. It's really something special.
They're awesome.
They are, and we take it really seriously. We don't take it for granted, and kind of along those lines, for me being here representing how we speak to our community, I just wanted you to know that we've actually taken the past year to expand our reach. We also have expanded where we are connecting with our players, because the players at the center of everything that we're doing. We want to be in more places to hear your feedback on all of the things that we're doing. So we're now in the Xbox official clubs. We're now on PlayStation News. We're talking on Steam forums. We're even getting more involved back on the Reddit with the moderators there. There'll be more AMAs coming up from the team, and even live streams like you're seeing right now. We want to make more regular again. So look forward to all of that coming over the next year. Now, I think I couldn't forget the most important platform of them all. No joking aside. All joking aside, actually today we are launching our TikTok channel as well. We found that there's actually a really thriving DBD community on TikTok, and we want to be there talking to you, creating fun content with you. So we're really happy to be there now. But I think we should move on with the show itself. Did you know, Matt, that over the 7 years, there's been over 1.8 billion trials?
What?
Yes, billion with a B. And to that note, DBD is not slowing down at all.
We wouldn't know how.
No, we wouldn't, and we couldn't. So let's talk through what you're going to see today. We're going to kick things off with the Year 8 roadmap that's going to show you everything that's coming across the year to DBD. Following that, we're going to take you through the reveal of our next chapter, which is some incredible original stuff you're not going to want to miss. After that, we've got gameplay updates. After that, we've got quality of life updates. And then a new segment has come to the show. This is actually something that's really cool. We're going to take you beyond the core game of DBD to show you how we're expanding other places and in other ways that you might not be expecting.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. Speaking of exciting, we have new cosmetics to reveal as well that I think are going to surprise people. I'm so psyched about those. And we're going to round it out with news about the in-game 7th anniversary event, which is better than ever, actually. It's going to be a really exciting one this year. And of course, as Matt mentioned, you do want to stick around for whatever he's hiding, because I actually know what it is, and it's incredible.
You can't tell them.
No, I can't tell you as much as I would like to. So thank you so much for joining us. Sit back, relax. We've got a great show. And now I think we should get on to it.
Enjoy.
His bow tie's Lego. Matthew Cote
Hello everyone,
does
and
Lego
welcome
build
to the
streams.
roadmap segment of the 7th year anniversary stream for Dead by Daylight. I'm Stéphane Beauchamp, head of production.
And I'm Justin Brown, product director. We're really glad to be here celebrating another amazing year of Dead by Daylight with you.
Today in this segment, we'll have a look at our upcoming pillars for Year 8, as well as our chapters plans and the archives and tomes updates that we have planned for the year. Before going any further, I do want to take a brief moment to give a big shout out to the amazing team that's been working on the game for the past years. They put amazing effort and dedication into that and really allow us to get the game to the state it is today. It's just absolutely amazing and a pleasure to work with the entire team.
Agreed.
Over the past year, we've put out 2 particularly interesting chapters, I feel, amongst others. But first, Forge and Fog has allowed us to tap into a new theme which we've never really had a chance to before, medieval, which is something we hadn't explored. So our first foray into that and how that ties into the horror themes and all, that was very interesting to navigate. And the second one, for the first time, we have released a first ever sequel to a licensed chapter in Resident Evil Project W. Such a great and cool addition to the game, I think, bringing in a lot of characters people love, and they have been really fun to play with ourselves.
Absolutely. Wesker was so well done, one of my favorite killers to play, personally. And it was right around the time that he released that we also did the Prestige update, making it easier than ever for you to sort of unlock all of your perks throughout all of your characters. We also, shortly after the Prestige update, reduced the blood point total or cost in the Blood Web for all items. We followed that up with bots, survivor bots specifically, in custom matches, which was super useful. Practice your killer in a custom match. It's awesome. We did 2 important quality of life updates to the archives, one being the ability to select quest per role, and then the second, just that in-game toast notification so you can track progress in a match, which is ever so helpful. And then last but not least, last year we said we were going to make our events bigger and better, and we feel like we really delivered that with last year's Halloween. Probably the best event we've done in Dead by Daylight to date.
That's a pretty good one.
Now, switching gears, we're going to give you guys a first peek at the upcoming content you can expect us to release throughout this next year. First and foremost, of course, there are going to be, again, 4 new chapters that include killers. But in a strange twist, what you will notice on the graphic today is that there are also 2 survivor-only chapters being released in this next year.
A lot to unpack, changing the pace a little bit, but it's not straying too far away from what we've been used to over the past. As is tradition, we will be actually taking a peek at the next upcoming chapter, an original one, and a segment that follows very shortly after this one. Again, we're exploring another theme we really haven't had the chance to in the past, so that's pretty exciting, both in terms of the characters and the team we're exploring with it. The next 2 killers that will follow after that are going to be licensed, and I would say licensed with a big L, if I can. Really iconic additions to the game. Extremely excited to be able to talk a little bit more about that. Unfortunately, a little too early today to be able to do that. We've started to play with them a little bit internally and seeing how the characters are going to shape up, and it's pretty exciting to actually have those additions to the game.
Yes.
So more to come later this year.
Wow.
In addition to that, moving away from the chapters, we will also have 4 new tomes added to the game throughout the year, as we usually have over the past years. So, moving away from our chapters and archives, we'll now deep dive into the 4 pillars that compose the roadmap for the year. And as players will see, they're a continuity from what we've been doing over the last years.
Of course, and though the pillars might look the same, the projects we work on under each pillar changes from year to year. The first pillar is something we've already talked about, events evolution, we're calling this pillar. We do plan on taking our 4 sort of pillar events and making them even bigger, even better than they have been in the past, including last year's Halloween, which we plan on sort of one-upping again this year. But in addition to those 4 events, we're also going to look at adding a few more smaller events spread throughout the year.
And for those of you who have been with us for a long time, you might already know what the smell of barbecue is in the game. I know you love barbecue.
Love barbecue.
We all do. For those of you who don't, well, you'll get to see it very shortly. But really, the goal is to give you more to play with at all times in the game and something to work towards too. Second pillar is trust and security, which is more important to us than ever in Dead by Daylight. This pillar both reflects the systems that we're putting in place to make the game more secure, but also the way we're communicating with our players. The first one, the former of those, we're really excited to say that we're about to launch a vulnerabilities disclosure program, which will allow us to work with people in the wild to report potential threats about the game, about our servers, etc., and really facilitate us closing those potential weaknesses that we knew or did not know about within the game. So very, very excited to to launch this. This is going to be coming up in the near future, so you can stay tuned for more info about that.
Yes, I'm super excited for when we're able to share a little bit more information with everybody about that initiative. Next up, we're also going to be looking at revamping our sort of streaming strategy. We want to make sure that we're able to communicate with you, our players, more often, offer a higher level of transparency, discuss sort of updates and the progress on a lot of the features and initiatives we're going to be announcing and talking about throughout this stream today. We plan on doing that by doing live streams more consistently to celebrate, new chapter releases, large key beats, and generally just being in contact with you, our community, consistently throughout the year. One of those topics is very likely to be our next pillar, which is live balance, a topic that's, very dear to us. It's something I spend a lot of time thinking about and worrying about, and something that I won't go too deep into today, because we will be talking about our live balance plans in a little bit, right?
Yeah, we'll have Nat and Jeff coming up in a future segment and talk about what type of projects we have planned for the coming months on that specifically.
Awesome.
Very excited, very important for us, and we know how dear to the community's heart this also is a pretty hot topic in general, I would say. Last but not least, quality of life is a staple pillar on which we have continuously worked throughout the years, and this is all about the UI and feature improvements we make to the game as a more general type of thing. One improvement we did last year was the Survivor HUD, which facilitates exchange and communication between players, even if they're not talking with each other directly, to make sure you can always make a better decision as a survivor when you're playing the game, because you know what's happening a little bit more than you used to in the past. In addition to that, you've talked about the improvements we made to the progression and made it faster to level up. But we made it even faster by allowing you to just spend a ton of blood points almost instantaneously and just get it done and get it through with with upgrading your characters and leveling up much faster in the blood web.
It feels great.
It does. And finally, the map repeat prevention feature, which was released a few months ago, which again, another addition. There's a lot of maps into the game. Some of you might have felt like even if you're playing for just an hour, you're often tapping like 2 or 3 times into the same map and such, and this is really preventing that from happening as much as possible, so a very cool addition. We're not going to go too much in detail today, or at least in this specific segment, to talk more about quality of life features, but we'll have 2 new faces, Raphael and Pamela, who are going to be coming up in a future panel and talk to you about some of the projects we have planned and even show you a few features that we have under works right now and that are going to be coming up in your hands fairly shortly.
Excellent. There's a lot we look forward to sharing with you in this stream today. And we thank you again for an amazing 7 years celebrating Dead by Daylight with us. And we look forward to many more. Next up is our friend Dave Richard to give you a first look at our next upcoming Dead by Daylight chapter.
The set looks great. I always say his name in the French way, like Richard, because like Maurice Richard.
Hey. I'm Dave Richard, Creative Director of Dead by Daylight. I'm super happy to be with you today to celebrate our 7th anniversary and to show you a first look at our latest chapter and transmission. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Okay.
It wasn't programmed to harm the crew. It was supposed to help us build a safer home, but something happened. It became self-aware. It has no empathy. It doesn't feel pain. It learns at an impossible rate, and it won't stop until we are dead. Or worse.
Until we are dead or worse. What could worse be?
As you just saw in the trailer, this original chapter brings us into a completely new genre of horror for Dead by Daylight. We are going to explore sci-fi horror.
Nice.
So this will bring us to a distant, unknown planet, and will feature characters from a possible future. Traditionally, I would be taking some time with you today to go over the characters and the map of the chapter, but this year we're doing things a little bit differently, with a behind-the-scene video. We want to show you the process of creating a chapter, but also show you new faces that you might not have seen before, of amazing people that are working hard to make these chapters possible. Let's take a look.
Whoa.
For the anniversary, we've prepared a very special original chapter.
On a de la chance sur Dead by Daylight d'avoir un lore qui permet beaucoup de flexibilité et de possibilités.
This is a big deal for the Dead by Daylight universe, because we're going to explore a new genre in horror. We're going sci-fi. I think that any kind of subject and genre can be rewrapped and reimagined as horror, and sci-fi is definitely not an exception. There are three big themes that we wanted to explore in that new realm. First of all, it's clearly an alien world. We wanted you to feel like you are far from home, that you are lost in space. The second one is that we wanted to make sure that the human technology looked weak, lo-fi, so that you never feel safe within these constructions that they've brought on the settlement. And the last thing we've added to the mix are traces of a long-lost alien civilization.
Donc, comme vous pouvez imaginer, toute l'équipe a été très excitée de travailler sur un chapitre pareil, de science-fiction. Le gros challenge et en même temps l'intéressant défi qu'on a eu, ça a été d'amener toute cette consistance, cette relation entre les personnages, l'environnement. Tout a été pensé visuellement pour que le joueur se sente en danger constant. Et la tension est accentuée par la présence de ce tueur qui est une intelligence artificielle qui se nourrit de l'environnement et qui est intéressé par récupérer plusieurs ressources pour se construire un corps parfait pour devenir l'arme ultime. Les joueurs vont explorer une jungle hostile et sauvage d'un autre monde. Tout est designé dans cette jungle pour pouvoir tuer.
One aspect I really enjoyed was that it was a jungle, so we could make it super dense, super threatening in the organic design and the design of the plants. Everything kind of looks like it could kill you. We tried to have like very creepy looking texture, very organic texture you would find in nature. We would try to bring it into the designs of the plants and the vegetation in general. The main building, the idea was to show that was a safe space for the characters. As you can see, it's on stilts. It's elevated compared to the map. The idea was to show that the map is very dangerous.
God, it looks so
and this
cool.
place should be safe for you. But the interesting idea we had is that once you get into the structure, it's actually more dangerous or looks more threatening.
That's what happens when you play too much VR, kids.
The Singularity is an AI that is supposed to help the human crew settle on this new planet.
See,
but
AI
while
is
it was
bad.
scouting, it got in touch with a piece of old alien technology and was enlightened. And now it wants to overthrow and kill all human. So this killer is an interesting take on the cyborg. We're used to see organic character using pieces of machinery to become more powerful. But the Singularity is doing it in reverse. It is a simple piece of technology using a cloning technology to get organic material and flesh to become more powerful.
Well, the inspiration of the killer design was, we always wanted to do a sci-fi killer, so you're going to be able to go around the map and set up these biopods, spread your consciousness inside of these biopods, and then if you're able to catch a survivor inside of your reticle, you'll be able to infect them, appear next to them, and then you'll be able to attack them and keep the chase going. One of the important things for survivors is teamwork, trusting each other, working together. So with this killer, one of its abilities in the slipstream is that once a survivor is tagged or infected, you can spread that influence to other survivors, and it does so automatically, so survivors will be less likely to work together, and there'll be more discord between them.
Stay away from me.
La présence humaine est visible dans la map. On voit une compagnie qui a essayé de coloniser, de trouver sa place dans ce monde, mais plusieurs signes dans l'environnement que les joueurs découvriront montrent que tout s'est pas très bien passé.
God.
Et le dernier survivant de cette expédition loupée, c'est Gabriel.
Our survivor, Gabriel Soma, is quite resourceful. He's able to troubleshoot some pesky issues on the survivor side, and he's able to adapt very quickly to be able to bring the killer away from the other survivors. He's able to protect the others.
So even though we are in a setting that's so far from home, in the future, we wanted to make sure that Gabriel was a grounded character, that any of us could recognize ourselves in him.
I'm super excited for players to try this map. I think it's great that sci-fi is finally in DVD. I think it's going to be fun for them to experience the creepiness and the threatening vibe of this map, and I think they're going to really enjoy it.
C'était un sacré défi. J'espère que les joueurs apprécieront cette relation qui est entre tous nos assets, d'environnement, de personnages, à cause de l'histoire que l'on raconte. Et aussi par le travail qui a été effectué par toute notre équipe pour apporter l'expérience la plus immersive et dangereuse possible.
I'm really excited for all of our players, survivors and killers alike, to be able to experience our first original sci-fi chapter and transmission.
As always, you'll be able to play with the content of this chapter during the PTB right after this broadcast. For everyone else, the chapter becomes available on June 13th. Before I leave, I want to take some time and thank all of you, veterans and newcomers alike, to play Dead by Daylight and to be part of this incredible journey with us. I want to wish you a happy 7th anniversary. May the year be filled with fun and surprises. Next up, we have Natalie and Jeff to talk about some gameplay improvement coming this year.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie, Team Lead Community Manager for Dead by Daylight, and I'm joined here today with a very special guest.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeff and I'm a game designer on Dead by Daylight.
Thank you so much for joining me, Jeff. I can't wait to talk a little bit more about a topic that is always top of mind for our community, gameplay. So we have some quick updates for you today. Jeff, let us know what they are.
Well, as you know, the game design team has many features and updates planned for this year. However, we'll be focusing on 3 specific topics today. We're going to be talking about continued gameplay updates, map balance, and finally, plans to address face camping in Dead by Daylight.
I'm excited to dive into these quick updates, so without further ado, let's jump right in. I know last year we launched one of the biggest perk updates in Dead by Daylight ever, and it significantly shifted the Dead by Daylight perk meta as a whole. But that's not what we're going to be talking about today. That's happened in the past. What we're going to be focusing on a little bit more is the process that we're looking to take consistently moving forward as a community and design team when it comes to these gameplay updates. So, Jeff, what more can you share with us on that?
Well, as you said, last year we launched our biggest perk update ever in Dead by Daylight, and it had a significant impact on the perk meta. We saw a lot of perks fall out of the meta and new perks rise to the top. And this was completely natural. Like, the players are the ones that drove this change after the changes went live. And it was super interesting to see, by the way. But moving forward, or for this year, we're not planning to have a major shakeup like we did last year. Instead, we've revisited our live design process to allow us to make changes at a faster rate. Instead, we'll be focusing on smaller, more focused balance updates with each update this year.
That makes a lot of sense, and of course, it's one of the reasons why we listen so closely to player feedback as a whole. But it does sound like we're going to be able to integrate some of that feedback that we're bringing back to your team, and we're discussing when it comes to these kinds of updates a little bit faster than before. Am I right?
Absolutely, and I think the best example for that was the previous PTB that we had. We had a proposed list of changes that went onto the PTB. The community gave a lot of feedback, and your team reported that to us, and we made some small adjustments. Well, we made quite a few adjustments to it, and it went live, and I think that everyone was pretty happy with the result. So our intention with this change is really to give us the flexibility to analyze, adjust, and observe the outcome more frequently. That way, similar to what happened with the previous PTB, if a change doesn't go as we envisioned, we can readjust it before it goes live, and even after it goes live, right? Like, we're still listening for feedback, and we'll make further adjustments if needed.
Exactly. It's this ongoing process that never really ends. So I think that's something really important to highlight. But of course, we know that this doesn't only apply to things like perks and add-ons. We also are aware of some of the comments you folks are leaving about maps. So we are very happy to announce that moving forward, we plan on having map balancing as part of these regular gameplay updates as well. What more do you have to say on that, Jeff?
I like that.
First, I mean, I can already hear the players rejoicing from really far away because this has been a hot topic for a very long time in Dead by Daylight. And I think you'll agree, and the players probably agree too, that most maps in Dead by Daylight are seen as either killer-sided or survivor-sided. And our goal with integrating into the live design process is really to make them feel more balanced, so creating a more even playing field for both sides. We started this process with the Raccoon City Police Department, then we followed suit with the Area of Crows map, and finally, the most recent ones were Blood Lodge and Gas Heaven. And what's great about these changes is that they can be as small as moving a small location for totems or generators to reviewing pallet safety so we can make a pallet more safe or less safe, to bigger things like changing the map layout or changing building layouts.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I know our team's already coming through a lot of the feedback. Your team's already looking at how we can integrate some of that feedback. But looking toward the future a little bit more, what kind of maps are we going to be targeting next?
Swamp?
I think I know what it might be.
We need a drum roll over here.
I know.
We really do. Because this one is a big one, and I'm sure that the longtime players will be ecstatic to hear that the next two maps that we're targeting are some of the most notorious maps in Dead by Daylight. I'm talking about two Cold Wind farm maps, Fractured Cowshed and Rancid Abattoir. But what's important to remember is that integrating this into the live design process means that we'll be listening to feedback and making further adjustments as we go.
Yeah, definitely. And it's also one of the reasons why it's so crucial that you let us know what your feedback is regularly through the official channels in particular. Of course, I believe we're going to be having this update for Cold Wind going live sometime before the end of the summer. So make sure to keep your eyes and your ears for more information. You know I had to sneak in a corny pun. You know it.
You had to.
All right, finally, in terms of our quick updates, we have one more feature that we wanted to discuss. And that is something to do with face camping. So if you're new to Dead by Daylight, if you've never heard this term before, face camping is basically a term used to describe a killer that's standing directly in front of a hooked survivor. They're not moving, they're waiting for that hooked survivor to die on hook, and this is usually happening either for a large portion of the match, if not the entirety of the match. We know that face camping can be very unfun for the person on the hook, but of course also the other people in the match.
Was too powerful. It made me
we're looking to test out a new feature that's going to help combat face camping as a whole. So Jeff, tell us how it works.
It's back.
Well, the first thing I want to say is that as an altruistic survivor, it's really difficult for me to play against someone who's face camping because I just want to help and I can't. So I'm stuck, doing generators instead, which is fine, but I'd rather help my teammates. But yes, so the way the system works is that the hooked survivor has a meter on their screen, and it fills up based on the killer's distance to the hooked survivor. So the closer the killer is, the faster it fills up. The further they are, the slower it fills up until it doesn't fill up at all because they're not within a certain radius. And once it's full, the hooked survivor can unhook themselves even in the second stage. And what's great about this is that they get the full benefits of being unhooked. So it's as though a teammate had unhooked them, or they unhook themselves with the perks such as Deliverance. So for those of you who don't know, that means they'll get the haste status effect and the endurance status effect, so they're pretty safe at that stage.
That is so awesome to hear. I know folks at home are probably already thinking about a bunch of things on this topic, so I'm going to start by bringing probably one of the questions we're going to get.
And that's so shocked.
What happens if the killer is forced to stay by the hook? So there's like multiple survivors swarming the hook, they're forced to stay on that radius. Is there any situation in which this feature might slow down or turn off or be otherwise affected?
That's a great question. And yes, there are some scenarios where it either slows down or turns off. So for the first one that you mentioned, where survivors are swarming the hook, as soon as there is one other survivor within that same radius, the meter will build up a lot more slowly. So the killer doesn't have to worry about survivors swarming the hook and being penalized for it. As for the second option that we talked about, which was turning it off, once the exit gates are powered, the feature is completely turned off.
Wow.
So you can defend your only objective, again, without having to worry about the survivor unhooking themselves.
That makes a lot of sense. Of course, we're going to be so eager to hear what you folks are going to say on this matter. And for the most part, it really does sound like this feature is targeting those most egregious cases of face camping, where it's really used kind of in a spot that's way too early in the game, or in a spot that's really not going to make sure that the match is as fun as possible. So with that said, though, when can folks expect to get their hands on this feature? When can they let us know what their thoughts are?
the burning question everyone wants to know. So our plan, which is subject to change, of course, is to have it sometime later this year on a PTB. And as with all PTBs, we'll be listening to feedback and making further adjustments before it goes live.
Wow,
and
I never
even once it
expected
goes
that.
live, we'll still be listening and gathering feedback to make further adjustments, just to make sure that, you know, it's as good as it can be.
Of course, yeah. And again, TLDR, we are eager to hear those thoughts, so let us have them on the official channels as much as possible. We are always keeping an eye out. But I think that's it. That's a wrap for our quick gameplay updates segment. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining me, Jeff, again.
Thanks for having me.
It was a lot of fun. If you're interested in learning more about this, please head on over to deadbydaylight.com after the broadcast, where there's going to be an in-depth article looking at all three of these topics in a little more detail. Outside of that, of course, more gameplay updates are coming this year, so stay tuned to our official channels to hear more news on that. Finally, our next segment is going to feature Raph and Pamela. They're going to be talking a little bit more about some highly anticipated quality of life improvements that you can expect to see in the game soon. So you want to stick around. You do not want to miss this.
We'll see you in the fog.
I got to call my comic shop and order issue 3.
All right, it's time. Finally, I've been holding this in for too long. I can finally tell you all about our next survivor. Oh. All right, then.
Let's go.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be here to celebrate Dead by Daylight's 7th anniversary. My name is Raphael, producer on DBD, and today I'm pleased to be with Pam as well.
Hi, Raph. Hi, everyone. My name is Pamela. I'm the lead UI designer on Dead by Daylight as well. And we're so happy to be here today because we want to share with you some of the great quality of life improvements that the team is working really hard for year 8.
So before we dive into the good stuff, today our goal is to give you an idea on when we plan to deliver those upcoming features. That said, you know it is, sometimes priorities and timelines can shift, but we're more dev-focused live stream than ever planned for this year. We'll make sure to keep you in the loop. All right, let's get to it. So Pam, to start, I think you have something that the community has been asking a lot.
Yes, so we all know Dead by Daylight has been live for 7 years now.
Perk search.
And if you have been playing the game since the start, there's no way your inventory isn't full of perks, outfits, and charms, and add-ons and items. Because we did release a lot of content back in the time. But last year, we did introduce the feature called Loadout Preset, which means that you were able to manage this process a little bit easier. But right now, we're so happy to say that we are building on this feature even more because we are adding finally the Loadout search bar to help you find quickly whatever you're looking
Senzu
for.
owes a lot
So
of devs
on the Loadout
Ferraris.
search, you're just gonna need to type in either the name of the thing you're looking for or just a word within the description, and it will find it for you instantly.
So let's say I'm looking for the perks affecting generators. I just type in generator, and voila, all the related perks will be displayed.
Exactly.
Oh, I can see how it's going to be a huge help for our players.
Yes, and not just that. We're happy to say that this feature is also going to be available in all platforms, and you won't have to wait for it longer either to test it, because this feature is going to be available today on the PTB update that we're going to be releasing right after this broadcast.
Amazing. We really hope you're going to enjoy.
Yes. So as we're talking about improvements in the player experience, Raph, I know you have something really interesting for us today.
Read the disclaimer.
Yeah, we got a lot of requests on this feature. All DBD players know that sometimes when a survivor disconnects, well, it put the rest of the group at huge disadvantage. And it's safe to say that at this point, it's not going to be an ideal experience. So that's why with our upcoming feature, once a survivor will disconnect, an AI bot will take over so that the game can continue. And who knows, maybe this bot will be even better than the player who just disconnected. So, joking aside, we really hope this will alleviate frustration and help matches to run more smoothly.
Yes, and also to make sure that no one is left in the dark, what we're going to do is, as soon as a bot spawns in, every survivor and every killer on the game, they're going to be made aware through the UI, as well as a sound cue, whenever they see there is a survivor disconnect bot in the match they're playing.
And right now, we are planned to release the feature this summer.
Yeah.
What about when the killer
for the
disconnects?
next feature, if you're playing online game, I'm pretty sure you're gonna recognize what Pam is about to mention.
Yes, this is something that we are super excited because the team is really working hard in trying to come up with an entirely new type of cosmetics, so you'll be able to showcase your personality on Dead by Daylight even more. So what we're talking about here is the player cards. And what means for us on Dead by Daylight is, alongside your name, you're probably gonna be able to assign a background or a banner and an icon. And you will be able to earn those cosmetics during the fall. This is where we're planning. But the idea is they're gonna start as standard rewards in every tome. And we're still gonna be working on other ways for you to earn those cosmetics in the future. So we're not stopping there.
That's awesome. Can't wait to share my custom icons and banners.
Yes. One last thing, Raph, I know you have something that ties everything that we're talking about here related to improvements.
Yeah, as we said today, we're constantly working on making DBD a safer, but also a more secure environment for all players. And the report system is an integral part of that. Right now, how it works, at the end of the game, if a player wants to report people because of bad conduct, hacking, or other reason, they can. But let's be honest, there is not much visibility on that process. But it's important to say that our team has always been committed to taking action on this report. Soon, thanks to our upcoming feature, the player report feedback, we will let you know when an action has been taken against a player you reported.
And also to highlight even more, not only every report that every player does is really appreciated, but we are really taking serious and having those actions done on our side.
Yeah, and as for now, we plan to release the feature over the summer. And that's it for today.
Can we see when someone has reported us for a thing?
Thank you so much, Pam, for being with us today.
Thank you, Raph.
Next up, an exciting look at what lies ahead for the world of Dead by Daylight. Enjoy the rest of the broadcast. Ciao.
Ciao.
Whoa. The comic? I wonder is Nadia gonna be in this? Three and 4. I gotta order 3. I have 1 and 2 on order from my comic shop already. Oh wow, Twins in mobile? They also need Deathsinger and Zarina in mobile, right? Why can't we have mobile Moris in core?
Hi, I'm Stephen Mulrooney, Executive Vice President of Digital at Behavior Interactive. As someone who's been on Dead by Daylight since the very beginning, it's been amazing to see the ways both the game and its community have grown. We've added a lot to DBD over the past 7 years, with a mobile game, comic books, a board game, Hooked on You,
really
and even the
now.
Dead by Daylight movie on the way. We've become a franchise with something for everyone. Today, I'm happy to announce that we're gearing up to get even bigger, expanding Dead by Daylight beyond our core game and giving players more ways into the fog than ever before.
What were those
To
other
bring these new
nodes?
experiences to life, we're collaborating with some amazing studios, one with expertise in multiplayer games and another with expertise in interactive narratives. So with that, let's hear a little bit more about what they've been up to.
We're obviously all horror fans here at Supermassive and massive fans of Dead by Daylight. Now we're thrilled to be collaborating with Behavior on a brand new single-player interactive story game set in the terrifying omniverse of Dead by Daylight.
We've been working hard to blend the tension, agency, and branching storytelling of a supermassive game together with Dead by Daylight's mythology to create an intense narrative experience filled with powerful life or death choices. Our game will be set outside the entity's realm and feature the story of a new cast of characters who players will follow for an unprecedented experience beyond the fog.
This is a whole new way for horror fans to experience Dead by Daylight, and we couldn't be more excited to share it with the world. So stay tuned, we'll have more to reveal later this year.
Like Man and Medan and that?
It's been almost a year since Midwinter joined the Behavior family to work on a brand new project set in the Dead by Daylight universe. One of the things we love most about the world of Dead by Daylight
this is the studio they bought.
We thought about
west.
the game's multiplayer action, which we love, and reimagined it in a completely new way.
The themes in our game will center around greed and the lust for power. These will be present in both the gameplay itself and in the stories of the characters who were tempted to enter a strange new corner of the entity's realms. Our vision is to create a multiplayer PvE experience where instead of facing off against each other, up to 4 players can team up, enter another one of the entity's realms, and take on a host of deadly enemies that occupy it.
This project is still in very early stages. We are really excited about what we're doing and can't wait to share more as we go.
Stay tuned for more.
How am I gonna play all this, gang?
7 years in, and the world of Dead by Daylight has never felt bigger. I'm so excited that players will have 2 new ways to explore the entity's realm. There's still a lot of work to do before we'll have more to share, but just follow Dead by Daylight and we'll make sure you're the first to know.
Dead by Daylight, Telltale game style, basically, but supermassive until
Hi everyone,
dawn.
I'm Xavier Etchepart, Art Director.
Hi everyone, I'm Rosalie, Senior Product Manager.
She writes all
We're
the
super
blogs on the
happy
cosmetics.
to be back with you today to talk about all the new exciting content coming to the Dead by Daylight store over the next year.
I'm so glad I didn't watch the spoilers,
it's been
man.
7 years already.
Long journey.
Oh, what a long journey, what a beautiful journey, but 7 years old, wow. Dozens of collections, thousands of cosmetics brought to life with passion and dedication by our art departments. And yeah, along the years, we provided to our players an incredible amount of options when it comes to how to represent themselves in the game.
Some would say too many.
Yes, it's a lot of outfits, and more are coming. And today, I think we should share more about it, you know, about what's coming.
We're ready to share.
Yeah. And also, we have a special guest joining us later to discuss about this unique collection we work on together. So, yeah, maybe we should start.
Okay, so Dead by Daylight is a game, as you all know, that's known for its great soundtrack. And we're always on the lookout for opportunities to explore like the music scene in particular in our cosmetics. And we have 2 collections coming in the next year that, well, although they've just come together and we don't really have any dates yet, but we really couldn't resist sharing. So here goes. First off, Dead by Daylight is partnering with heavy metal legends Iron Maiden.
Yes!
On a collection built around the iconic Eddie, who, well, let's be honest, he fits right into our game.
Where's my Eddie
All of the cosmetics in this collection will be like portraying his many album cover appearances, which are super cool. And secondly, we're thrilled to be partnering with Slipknot on a collection that showcases many of their trademark masks.
I'm not familiar with that band.
We'll be making 9 masks in total, paying tribute to some of the band's most iconic members over the years. Well, all four killers, of course.
Yes.
So yeah, as we said, it's really early for both of these collections, but we'll share more news as we get to work on them. What's next?
Yeah, I think it's a good time to talk about our community, you. Our community, I mean, since the beginning of Dead by Daylight, they are super important for us, and we were attached to put the spotlight on them on a unique store collection since a while, because like we have fans all around the world who are also really talented and creative artists.
For sure.
And even if it's not the first time we showcase their work in the store, organizing the
competitions,
the competition,
right? We did that before.
Exactly, to appear in game. This year, we would like to take it a step further and unifying our inspirations, passion, guidelines to build something new together.
Oh.
And the result of it is the artists from the Fog collection. So I remember when we asked to our community to submit their work. And
we got
hundreds,
thousands applications.
Plenty of amazing applications, and we had to select some of them. So I remember we selected 4 winners from Poland, US, Spain, Canada. There is also a 5th contributor, as you know. We'll keep it for later. Featured on that collection. But we invited them to select their favorite character. It was important. And we're super lucky because we ended up with a split of 2 survivors and 2 killers. So balance was perfect. And then we met and we share with them all these things they need to know to work on our outfits, like the technical constraints, the lore,
how to mix and match,
etc. Everything they needed before giving them the really precious maximum creative freedom to start their designs. And next, we did this regular follow-up with them, and we achieved beautiful and functional designs, still respecting the artist's intentions, but also our needs.
Understandable.
And yeah, it was an incredible collaboration. We have beautiful outfits, because I think like all these creativity, these ideas, their design, they brought to our game, our fresh approach to it, new eyes. So it's, I'm super happy with the results. So thanks again for these artists to work on that collection was great.
That's great to hear.
Yes.
And also we have that 5th artist that we invited ourselves to be a part of the Artists from the Fog collection.
Yes.
She's an industry veteran, as you know, known for her fantastic work on like Okami, Bayonetta, the Evil Within series, and of course Ghostfire Tokyo. We're incredibly excited to have her joining us today to share a little bit about her designs. Welcome, Ikumi Nakamura.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Wow.
Hi, I'm Ikumi Nakamura. Dead by Daylight のコミュニティの皆さん、こんにちは。よろしくお願いします。
Welcome, Ikumi-san.
Hi.
It's great having you here today. But before we get into the outfits you created for Dead by Daylight, we wanted to ask you first, could you share with us what draws you to horror? And like, was it something that you liked growing up? And like, what's so unique to you about creating art in this genre?
なるほど。ホラーに惹かれる理由は、私もともとお父さんが小さい頃からホラー映画とかホラーのゲームをたくさん与えられて育てられたので、正直惹かれる理由はあんまりよくわからないんです。なぜかというと、自分の体のなんか細胞の中にホラーが染み込んでて、ホラーがあると絶対見るし、ホラーの作品があるとすごい気になっていつも見ちゃうし、でもやっぱりホラーってこう掘り下げていくと結局のところ人の死とか人の生きるとかが描かれていて、非常に多様性があるジャンルだなと思って惹かれるんだと思います。
And you're creating 3 outfits for this collection, each featuring a character that really, really resonates with our Japanese fans. Could you share with us what stood out the most about each of them to you?
一人は、キラーの寒山鬼ですね。で彼は、呪いの、消しの鬼なので、私の住む国の日本の、文化を取り入れた、呪詛の時に着る服をアウトフィットとして寒山流にデザインさせていただきました。でリジョンのジュリさんは、彼女は狂気的な学生の気持ちを持っている女の子だと思っているので、それを表すためにそういう私たちの文化であるスクールガールの衣装をアウトフィットで彼女にあげてみました。でもう一人がユイで、彼女はすごくバイクを乗ってるたくましい女性だなって思って大好きなんですけれども、そんな彼女の私生活とか彼女が原宿とか行ったらどんな格好をするんだろうっていうのが見たくてそれでデザインをしてみました。
We'd also love to learn more about the whole process and your inspiration for the creation of the design.
キャンドルを頭につけてるんですけど、それはプレイヤーから見たら寒山が来た隠れなきゃって分かるような目印にもなるし、ゲーム的な意味もつけてデザインにしてます。でもう一人のジョリーさんに関しては、もともと4人でリジョンじゃんだから4人デザインしたらいいのかなと思って4人デザインしちゃったら1人でいいですって言われて、分かりましたっつって言ってジョリーさんをデザインさせていただいて、で今80年代とか70年代のポップカルチャーが非常に世界的にも流行しているので、そこの時に生きていた学生さんといえば、ヤンキーとスケバンだと思ってそのアウトフィットを彼らにあげました。で、ユイに関しては女の子のじゃないですか。だから彼女のが本当に私生活できるのをすごく見たいって思ったのがまず第一で、次に彼女のいつもはバイカーの衣装を着てるからわからないんですけど、実際彼女が可愛い服を着た時にどれだけキラーから傷つけられてる姿が見れるのかもっと見たかったんで、比較的薄着にして彼女がキラーから逃げやすいように動きやすいようにしてスポーティーなスタイルを取り入れました。
Well, thanks again for joining us today, Kumi-san. The outfits look really amazing, and we can't wait for fans around the world to enjoy them. So the Artists from the Fog collection, featuring work from Ikumi Nakamura, will be available in the Dead by Daylight in-game store this summer.
Oh, one more thing. I have a last announcement.
What?
And it will be a nice piece of nostalgia for any long-time fans of Behavior. Because we have our team, our big team, and an important part of this team worked on a game a long time ago named Naughty Bear.
Oh my God.
Naughty Bear. This game featured a bear living in his happy community of bears, but he's going on a murderous rampage after they didn't invite him to a party.
Understandable.
And what an iconic character, super interesting, and we were attached to bring it to the game since a while, and I'm super happy because now we are finally doing it.
Players have been asking for it.
Yeah. And it's coming soon this year. This year is coming.
Wow.
And we will attach a cosmetic. It will be part of the Trapper cosmetics.
Oh, wow.
And we will give him a royal treatment. It will be a lot of fun for players to see him.
Awesome.
Thank you for watching.
I
hope you really enjoyed all this announcement, all the upcoming outfits coming this year. And thank you again, Ikumi Nakamura, to be here with us today. It was a real pleasure.
I wonder if
to
we'll
work with
have
you.
a different
Stay
voice.
tuned, because Jean and Sarah are coming up next to talk about the in-game celebrations for the 7th anniversary. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bear
All right.
Force.
This time for real.
Yeah?
Okay.
Cut! Matt,
Seriously?
we've talked about this.
No, but
What's so hard? We've been doing this for 5 years together.
But I can do it right now. It's like 2 minutes.
Wait
Seriously.
for your cue.
No, but...
Marie-Claude.
Hey there, I'm Sarah Robinson. I'm one of the Associate Art Directors on Dead by Daylight. I help out with a number of areas of the game, but events are definitely one of my favorites.
And I'm Gene Escalante, a Senior Game Designer on Dead by Daylight, and I'm focused on the events. And I'm so glad that I get to be here with Sarah, as 7 years ago, when I first became a fan of DVD, she helped me get my very first tattoo, which was altruism, just 2 months after the game's release. Thank you.
No problem, happy. Okay, so Gene, there's lots to celebrate this year. And we're kicking things off early this year with a month of in-game activations leading up to the anniversary event. So tell us more about these activations.
Exactly. So each week we will be celebrating a different 2-year period of Dead by Daylight's history. So that'll include characters, maps, and mechanics that were introduced during those periods. So for example, week 1 will be featuring the Blood Hunts. Week 2 will then be doubling the Rift fragments for your Rift Pass. And in week 3, we will be inviting you, the players, to vote for a community choice event, which will occur during the Chapter 28 release. And once the anniversary event goes live, we'll be doing giveaways for previous anniversary cosmetics, including outfits and the Year 5 crowns.
Year 5
Twisted Masquerade
crowns?
was a huge hit last year. And this year, we're bringing it back bigger and better than ever. But the host of the Twisted Masquerade has actually stepped out of the shadows this year and has lent their certain special kind of decorating skills to our in-game event. What can players expect to see?
Well, the host has introduced a lot of various artworks throughout various areas of the game, so you'll definitely want to check those out. And yeah, Father Campbell's Chapel has gone through a complete masquerade makeover, and it looks incredible. But this host seems to have brought along some mysterious masked figures. What are these like weird ghostly spirits? Who or what are they? If you want to find out, you're going to have to take a closer look.
Speaking of masked figures, we're bringing back Masquerade Mask this year. We have 12 new masks for 12 new characters. But getting your hands on them last year was a little tricky. For killers, you had to make it through your trial. And for survivors, you had to actually make it through the exit gate. So how have we improved things for this year?
Well, the invitations that came out last year, Sarah, they'll be back. But this time, invitations will be holding charges, and you'll use those charges to kind of mess with the opposition while you're in chase. So if you're a survivor, what you'll be able to do is block the window vaults so the killer can't pursue you, and you'll also be able to spawn a pallet, which can be used in an emergency, but it'll break right upon use. Killers, on the other hand, they'll be able to reduce the impact of a stun, remotely break a pallet or a breakable wall, and survivors better watch out about this one. They will be able to inflict the exposed status effect on you once they've reached a tier of bloodlust.
No.
But in order to get your cosmetic, you will need to make sure that you are holding on to at least one charge by the time that an exit opens. And that's either the exit gate or the hatch. So our players are going to have to decide what is ultimately more important to them: exhausting the charge to help them in a time of need, or getting that brand new mask.
Oh, it's such a tough choice. But I love the players have a mechanic now where they can gain these masks without having to escape the trial. So beyond the mask, we have a number of excellent unlockable cosmetics as part of the Twisted Masquerade event tome, including 2 brand new outfits. Last year, our guests of honor were Hattie and the Dredge as part of our Roots of Dread chapter. But this year, we're highlighting 2 fan favorites, Nia and the Hillbilly. We also have a number of playfully chaotic charms for you to collect. It's worth noting, though, that all of last year's cosmetics, masks, outfits are going to be available in the store. So if you missed out on anything, now's your chance to go collect them.
Exactly, and keeping track of their collections is going to be much easier this year. So the event pop-up now is multi-tabbed. So you'll be able to find a collection tab and a store tab. In the collection tab, you'll find anything that can be earned through event gameplay or through the event tome. And in the store tab, you'll be able to find anything that we want to feature that is event related. And in there, you'll be able to find the Feng Min and the Ghostface outfits, which are brand new Twisted Masquerade outfits. So be sure to check those out.
We've got one more thing coming as part of the anniversary event, don't we, Jean? This year, we're debuting a new kind of challenge condition, random perks.
Whoa, what is this?
This is exactly what it sounds like. You roll the proverbial dice, and your loadout is equipped with those random perks. So this is a condition you might see on challenges that ask you to heal a survivor or down a survivor, for example. And last but not least, we're bringing back community challenges. So this is a great time for the whole community to get together, to work together and unlock additional rewards.
Exactly, Sarah. And we will be there, ready to support you guys through those community challenges. So make sure to stay tuned and don't forget that the road to anniversary content starts today.
And that is a wrap on the 7th anniversary show for Dead by Daylight and another year of content reveals. Thank you so much for joining us and spending your day with us here. It's been as exciting as I hoped it would be. I hope you've enjoyed it. And don't forget that the PTB for End transmission is live right now. So if you're on PC, you can jump over and start testing out things that were just revealed in the show today, which is pretty special. So thanks once again to our dev team back at the studio.
Wait.
Thanks. Oh, right.
I have one last thing, seriously, before we finish. I know we had some great reveals today, but I have one last thing that I'm super thrilled to talk about. We are welcoming into the fog this year someone, I mean, it's a brand new survivor, like we've never done before. He's an amazing actor with a career that spans decades. He's done everything, all the greatest movies you've ever seen. He's been in the horror world for a while with cult classics to cosmic horror. He will be joining the fog this summer. We are so excited to have him with us.
There's nothing more powerful than imagination.
This is amazing. I can't believe they've done this.
It can shape the fabric of reality, transforming everything you may think you know.
Renfield was amazing. We already know I want Elvira now. Oh my gosh, it's more possible than ever, right? What's stopping you from joining DVD? What do you mean? It still feels so surreal. Oh, becoming a survivor? Nobody wants me. You know, we have like Nicolas Cage and Paulie Esther's like not even in the shot anymore, you know? Nobody wants me. I want you as one. I mean, given what's happened recently with some other fog whisperers, is that the same code we had before? I think so, right? Nobody is going to take a chance on doing anything with the Fog Whisperer anymore. The people that you thought you could trust, it turned out things went badly. You know, it's just not happening. This is the reason why people always ask, could you see a Paulie Esther cosmetic in the game? It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen because, you know, everybody's one scandal away from making the game look bad. They're just never ever going to do it like the way they did it in the past. Wow, what a stream. All right. So good. So good. Wow. I'm glad I stayed away from as many of the things as I did. I don't know if any of that was, if there's people out there who digested all the leaks, if there were no surprises, or if there were still surprises there for them. I'm not sure what level it was leaked. You said you wanted to talk about something. Oh, it was about the thought of an anniversary chapter should be licensed. So I was talking to a friend of mine about this, and I was always of the belief that when you have your anniversary, you should bring a big license to the table. and they had a very different viewpoint on it, and it gave me pause, and I think they changed my mind on it. They said PTB now, right? Yes, they did say that, but you have to remember that this live stream was leaked earlier this week, and this was initially planned to come out on the 23rd. Because of the leaks, they decided to accelerate the timeline. So when they recorded this, it was intended to come out on the 23rd. Because of the leaks, they pushed the date up and put it out today instead. So that's why, since it was already recorded, they had those moments in there where it said, you know, the PTB is today. Wait, do the codes only work on the 23rd? People in the chat said that they worked. So, so my friend, their point of view was like, hey, it's the anniversary. It's a celebration of the game. It shouldn't be the celebration of a license. So it's more appropriate to bring an original chapter during the anniversary because it celebrates the game as a whole, the creativity of the dev team bringing their own original creation. And that's more of a celebration of the game rather than celebrating Jason. You know what I mean? So yeah, Trapper and DB7 are the only ones. So that was an interesting take that they had on it, and I think they won me over with that. Especially like, so we've seen licenses leave. So if you have this anniversary where you bring a license in and then they leave after the fact, then it's kind of a womp 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 moment, right? So maybe it's better to leave licenses for non-anniversary chapters. So I think they won me over on that idea that the anniversary should be about celebrating the game and everything original about the game, etc., etc. So they really won me over on that idea. They changed my mind about that. I'm not going to be upset if, let's say, a Jason comes out in the fall instead of in the summer, you know? So I like the idea of focusing on celebrating the game as a whole for the anniversary. The Nicolas Cage thing, I know people think it's goofy and they don't get it, but I completely get it, and I think it's brilliant, and it might even just be the beginning of relationships that they can have with actors and their licenses and their roles. Off. Whee! I'm feeling a little blue today, guys. Could you help cheer me up? It could just be the very beginning. I mean, you probably didn't see my video because I released it like right before this live stream, so you probably didn't have a chance to watch it. But I think that there's a real opportunity here for them to continue this if they can demonstrate that this is successful with Nicolas Cage, to do it with many other actors. For example, you could get Jamie Lee Curtis, and then you don't have to worry about getting the licenses for every different Halloween movie. You just dress her up and cut her hair in the way that she appears in those movies, because you can't like license outfits, right? You can't trademark clothing. If you give her a pixie cut and make her look like how she looks in Halloween H2O, that's going to be good enough for everybody, isn't it? Or long hair, older Laurie from the recent Halloween movies. You know, you just dress up Jamie like that. That's going to be good enough, right? So this could just be the beginning of something like this. You could complete your whole Scream license by getting Neve Campbell and dressing her up like how she appears in Scream. And then you can have your Scream movie by getting Neve. Nev's also in The Craft. You could do her up from The Craft too. So it really opens up a world of possibilities like we've never seen before. So I think that there's people who think this is weird, but I think it's more of a brilliant end around, like, hey, let's just go directly to the source. And then you also can make them look like we've seen how, well, you know, Laurie doesn't really look like Jamie Lee Curtis because of likeness rights. If you go straight to the person, and get their license, you can make them look as accurate as they really do, you know? Well, Robert Englund, you can't, because unless you're going to make him look like Robert Englund, you can't just make him look like Freddy, because that's something completely different. But yeah, you could do Nev as Sidney Prescott, or you could get Courtney Cox as Gale Weathers. You could get Matthew Lillard as Stu. You know, it goes on and on. You could get Matthew Lillard as his character from 13 Ghosts as a cosmetic for him. Now, Shaggy, you might be pushing the envelope to dress him up like how he looks as Shaggy. But I wonder if this is something that started with Kyle Gallner, right? Where he was like, just make him look like me. Everybody says he looks like a goblin. Just make him look like me, you know? So I wonder if that's where the idea came from. They said, well, if we actually had the actors' rights, we could do all of this. Honey Bear, I love you. Sarah Michelle Gellar as Buffy, Daphne, right? It just opens up a world of possibilities. And then you don't have to worry about, okay, well, who would we put as a killer if we were going to do like a Mandy chapter or a Willy's Wonderland chapter? You can just do all of these roles. And I do believe that you can probably dress up Nicolas Cage in the wardrobe that he wore in so many of his movies without fear of retribution, because you can't copyright, you know, outfits. And the biggest indicator I have of that is this is a still from Nicolas Cage's new upcoming film called Sympathy for the Devil. This is the only image I have seen for Sympathy from the Devil, this upcoming movie. I can't remember exactly when it's coming out, September or something. But I'll be darned if that isn't like exactly what he's wearing in Sympathy for the Devil in the Nicolas Cage Dead by Daylight teaser, right? That smoking jacket with this texture on it, with the black lapels and the black t-shirt underneath it. That's exactly what he's wearing in Sympathy for the Devil. So to me, that's like a clarion call that you're going to be able to dress him up any way you want, whether it's going to be Cameron Poe from Con Air, or Benjamin Franklin Gates from National Treasure, or the janitor from Willy's Wonderland. Now, Willy's Wonderland might have a problem that you couldn't put the Willy's Wonderland logo on the t-shirt, but you could maybe make it look close enough. And I have showed an example. Again, I just covered this in the video I put out today, that the Rochelle cosmetic for Left 4 Dead, for Claudette, in Left 4 Dead, she's wearing a Depeche Mode t-shirt. And they repurposed that to make it emulate the Depeche Mode t-shirt, but it doesn't say Depeche Mode on it. It says True Artists on it. So you can make it be like good enough. Yeah, I don't think you could get away with Ghost Rider, because that would be, yeah, Silly's Summerland t-shirt done, right? I think you could definitely dress up Nicolas Cage in the wardrobe that he had for some of his, you know, more well-known roles, like Castor Troy from Face Off. So I think this has a lot of potential for sure with this Nicolas Cage idea. Keanu Reeves. Could you imagine Keanu Reeves and they just put him in a full-length black trench coat and black glasses? Give him a beard for John Wick. Neo, I think it's ripe with potential. And, you know, I think it's an amazing addition. There's some people who think it's silly, but I think it's brilliant. Whoever thought about doing this end around of acquiring licenses for actors, Jennifer Coolidge, I think it's brilliant. Okay, so I'm fully down for this. We're gonna be updating maps a lot as we go. I really wish they would have said that they were going to redo the swamp first, because then we would have been complete, and every map has had a pass through on the realm beyond. I wish they would have said that. And then, okay, we're going to fix these two farm maps and, you know, other maps as we go. Sure, right? I'm fine with that, but I just wish that they would have said, we're gonna fix swamp. I really think the swamp needs it. Why are they leaving the swamp alone like this? I don't know, because there was even that time where swamp was broken for a while, and that one drain pipe showed up on people's games, and I thought, oh, well, they're definitely working on this, because look at how goofy it is, and how could you possibly get in the drain pipe show up on people's swamp maps spawning unless you were actively working on it? So I don't know. Okay, so we covered the license versus original idea for an anniversary. The face camping idea, I never expected it. And people say, well, it's only been 7 years, which is why I never expected it, because it's been 7 years for them to kind of come up with a concept on how to combat this. Now, I know the first thing is there's people who are going to say, well, the killers are just going to figure out where the edge of the range is, and they're going to stay there to make sure that they don't give the survivor any residual, unhook yourself, and they're just going to stand, you know, however many meters it is out to make sure that they never unhook themselves, which is possible. But, you know, we have to give it a chance and see how it works. It's better than nothing. It sounds like it could be pretty good. Like, look, we just played that game, was that yesterday, where the camping Bubba wound up getting a 4K because he camped, and we were too altruistic to leave people behind. Like, we really could have gotten at least 2 people out because we were just so, no, this Bubba's bad, we can beat them, and he camped, and it cost us, right? So anything to combat that is certainly welcome. I would love to see what this is going to look like. I think that's really good. And I'm glad they also said their conditions where the timer stops, especially at endgame. Now, did they say that with 5 gens done or with the gates open? I was trying to remember if they said that it would turn off, you know, when the killer has no objective to protect anymore. I think they did say EGC, right? I think they said gates open, right? I think you're right about that. The search bar is another thing that people are very happy to see, where, you know, A, B, C, D, L, M, N, O, you know, head on, whatever, right? So, powered or EGC? We'll have to rewind the tape and see which one it is. The search bar is great. I like that they also let you put in stuff like generators or luck or things like that, so you can search perks by what they do. They kind of have that a little bit on mobile where they have categories, but the search bar is really cool that that's in there. Something we've been waiting for. Still no crafting mode. Maybe next year. Supermassive games involvement, to have them make that Man of Medan Quarry Until Dawn style of one-player story. Dead by Daylight sounds amazing. How am I going to play all these Dead by Daylight games? We have so many things to choose from. I'm already, like, having trouble juggling core and mobile. How am I going to play these other games? This is a great problem to have, I suppose. Supermassive involvement is really exciting to me. I want to know more about the player cards. Yeah, I wish they would have shown us an example for that, because I was kind of like trying to picture it in my head, and I'm like, oh, I need to see that. What did they say causes the exposed effect? It said you get charges, and you can do different effects in game when you're chasing. So, remember when the trailer said death or something worse? So are they like incorporating you into their organic AI evolution in game? I can't believe how crisp and polished the map looks. It looks just like unlike anything else I've seen. Are they upgrading their Unreal Engine in Dead by Daylight? Like, it looks so good. The map quality, it looked so impressive. I can't believe it. Excited to see the Singularity and Gabriel. The new chapter design definitely looks like inspiration from Soma once the exit gates are powered. Okay, thank you for going back and looking at that, Adam. So, yeah, I think that's probably an improvement over EGC. With how much people 99 gates, that's the right call, I believe. I think that's the right call to make it just once the exit gates are powered instead of EGC has begun. The colors on the map were so pretty. I think Gabriel's crewmates could be ultra rare cosmetics for him. Isn't the new survivor's name Soma? Maybe a tribute for the inspiration. Gabriel Soma, you're right. I'm going to main Naughty Bear. I can't wait to play Trapper Naughty Bear. That looks so good. Here's another question I had. The artist collection. Now, I mean, Honey Bear's here, but I don't know if Honey Bear's allowed to answer this question. Might be an NDA thing. So the artist collection, presumably the artists are being paid for their creations. Now, would that count as licensed cosmetics then? And those would only always be Auric cells, even if they're on original characters? They wouldn't go for shards after 4 weeks? I think probably they're licensed, but I don't know. For Naughty Bear, I hope that we're going to see some exclusive stuff beyond just the cosmetic. Some sounds for Naughty Bear that are different, or obviously animations at least in lobby. Trapper Bear is going to be way better than Legion Bunny. I think a special license for artist collection makes sense. Yeah, I think so too. That they probably would not go for iridescent shards. That's so weird. What cosmetic did Honey Bear design anyway? Was that Felix? It's so odd that Honey Bear would choose a cosmetic design for Felix, isn't it? Oh, what else have I got written here? Okay, so I'm not familiar with the band Slipknot. Maybe I should try to listen to some of their stuff. The Iron Maiden Eddie. Eddie has so many iconic album covers. I can't wait to see what Eddie is going to look like. And I know one of the devs has a Trick or Treat Studios Eddie Iron Maiden mask, and it makes me give pause. I'm like, is this where this idea came from? Yeah, I don't know Slipknot. You should listen to Slipknot. Here's my question. Paulie gonna be listening to Slipknot. You're laughing at me. Hey, you don't know me. Maybe I'm gonna like it. You don't know me. It was funny to hear, what was her name? Ikumi Nakamura saying that she's a horror fan. And because I was watching Wheel of Fortune last night, and Pat Sajak tells this guy, he goes, "You don't look like a horror fan." What the hell does that mean, Pat Sajak? What does a horror fan look like? So you don't know me. Maybe I will be a Slipknot fan. What does a Slipknot fan look like? You know? Don't judge a book by their cover. People can like what they like. Pat Sajak pissing me off. You don't look like a horror fan. Shut up, Pat. Time to retire. Anyway. Slipknot kicks ass. Some of the best live shows I've been to in recent years. Here's my question. Since they have done these collabs with these bands, if you wear one of these cosmetics, will it play some of their music? And am I gonna be in trouble with Twitch for copyright by equipping like an Iron Maiden Eddie skin for Trapper, for example, and it starts playing an Iron Maiden song? And then like, oh, Twitch, we found copyright music. So that makes me wonder if it's gonna have lobby exclusive music for those cosmetics. We'll have to see what that brings. And gosh, I think that's all the notes that I have. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about? Let's do a live reaction to Slipknot right now. Well, then I really will get in trouble for copyright if I do that. But yeah, so we'll see. It's a lot of exciting stuff. Can't wait for the anniversary. It's too bad the PTB isn't today, but you got to remember it's a long weekend here in Canada. Is it a long weekend in the United States? Is Monday a holiday for y'all? It's Victoria Day here in Canada to celebrate Queen Victoria's birthday. We have a long weekend. So yeah, it wouldn't be prudent for them to have, while they did accelerate push up the date for the live stream, I don't think it would be a good idea for them to have pushed up the date for the PTB to today, and then bye, everybody goes home for the weekend, and then you know, something goes wrong, nobody's there to man the switch. I mean, I guess you could just go back to live, but yeah, ideally it's better to wait until Tuesday when this live stream was originally scheduled to be broadcast before the leaks came out. Just wait till Tuesday, and then you have people at the helm back to work after the long weekend, ready to monitor and change things if need be. Do we even do long weekends in America anymore? So y'all are saying Memorial Day, but it's not until another week for Memorial Day on the 29th. Huh. Like, maybe there's some weeks where they sync up and some weeks where they don't. Anniversary event is not happening today. I mean, I didn't know what to take. Was it John Escalante's thing that said the anniversary begins right now? I was like, what does that mean? I don't know. So on Tuesday, is there going to be some kind of an anniversary thing? 2 licensed killers. Yeah, that was the other thing that they said. Who do we think it is? Well, when they say with the big L, that's got to make you think it's somebody pretty impressive and well known to the average person that you would ask on the street. Super exciting. Can't wait to see what they are. Alien. I don't know. I already see people saying here. So Skull Merchant and Singularity were supposed to be Predator and Alien. Who knows? Will it finally be Candyman? Probably not. I don't think, you know. As much as I love Candyman, is Candyman a big L in license? I would think it's bigger than that. I don't know. 2 survivor-only chapters. So that roadmap thing went by so fast, I'm going to have to go back and look at it. 2 survivor-only chapters. So one is Nicolas Cage, right? So does that mean they have another one that's a licensed rights to an actor? I mean, Jamie Lee for the fall? I'd be down for that. Wouldn't you? I'd be all over a Jamie Lee release for Halloween. Better be Elvira. I'd be down for that too for Halloween. Five Nights at Freddy's would be a big license, yeah. Vincent Price coming to the Fog in October. Hail May May, as much as I would like to say that I would love to see that, the kids out here today don't even know who Nicolas Cage is. I've seen people going, who? I'm like, I blame the parents, you know, that these kids don't know who Nicolas Cage is, honestly. But if they don't know who Nicolas Cage is, they damn sure don't know who Vincent Price is. So I want stew. That's what I'm saying. Like, everything is on the table. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. Edward Scissorhands, but angry. And Vincent Price is the survivor. Won't somebody please think of the children and give them the movie culture that they need to get through life? Here's me still hoping we get Sydney or Gale. Yeah, I'd be down. What if they did it as like a little package? A Nev and Courtney Cox package. I blame their parents and their streaming services. Well, you can't blame the school, because teachers getting fired now for just showing like a Disney movie at school, even though all the kids wrote a permission slip. That Space Outer Worlds, whatever that movie was. Teacher getting fired for showing the kids that movie, Disney movie at school. Oh. The teachers can't, it has to start at home. The teachers can't show the horror icons anymore. It's got to start at home. I was really hoping that a plague would get a masquerade mask. Are they going to show Nick Cage in the anniversary? What do you mean? They just showed the trailer again. Teachers getting fired for saying good morning, class. How dare you? That's why I'm not a teacher. Those kids would be watching The Evil Dead at nap time. Oh, I saw an interesting thing on the Twitter, which I guess in Evil Dead Rise, there's a part where somebody gets their eyeball bit, and the sound effect for the eyeball being bit is Bruce Campbell biting into an apple, apparently, which is amazing. The codes they gave out do work right now in the game. Yeah, the D, was it? What was it? DBD 7 and Trapper 7? Don't you tell my children what kind of morning they should have. How dare you assume it's a good morning? My father's going to hear about this. DBD7 and Trapper7. Thank you very much. Wow, what a great day. Okay, 3 o'clock. I'm going to go have some lunch. Thank you all for tuning in with me. I appreciate y'all. I'll be back tonight to do some regular old Dead by Daylight streaming. What do the codes give? The DBD7 gives you 400,000 blood points, and the Trapper7 gives you that little charm that they had from Flippin' Misfits. I have that one already, but they're just giving it out to everybody now. PTB is not today. It won't be until the 23rd. I wish it was today, but it won't be till the 23rd. A few more days to wait. It's gonna be a pretty good time to do that PTB. We'll be here Tuesday morning, play all of that. But you won't have to wait that long to see my smiling face again. I'll be back tonight to play some regular old DBD. Oh, the random perk thing is pretty cool too. I like that. A lot of good ideas here. What mask are you really going for the anniversary things? Gosh, I don't know. We'll see you 8 hours from now. That's right. Okay, have a great day, everybody. Love y'all. I'm going to have some lunch, spend some time with my son. We watched The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, Nicolas Cage movie yesterday. Should we go watch Pig now? I don't know. I heard Pig's pretty good. I got to get my Nicolas Cage knowledge up. I've never seen National Treasure. I got to figure it out. Have a great day, though. Happy anniversary, everybody. Love y'all. We'll see you tonight. Bye.